Wait a minute. Oh, I don't believe this.
Do you really think that I would ever be with you?
Google defines the forehead as part of the face above the eyebrows. You see, this is really important because foreheads are powerful. They are that blank space of the skin that just sits up there, sometimes contracting intense wrinkles. This is my forehead, and I would say mine is powerful. I can move bottles with my forehead. Can you do that? There are many brilliantly massive foreheads in the world. You got Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest forehead. Philip DeFranco, who has the most powerful forehead in the world. Just look at his forehead. Jack's Films, a movie about Jack, whose forehead is absolutely gigantico. And then you have the greatest forehead in the game, my Blue Man Group reject, Megamind. See, I get to my point eventually. It's just a journey that we take together. You see, Megamind, or Big Conscious for you Cro-Magnons, is a powerful individual. He's voiced by the elegant, curly-haired god Will Ferrell. Megamind spouts a tall, slender build, wearing his favorite Hot Topic attire. One day, he even got his own movie called Megamind. It's a documentary, obviously. Now, this movie is fantastic. It's a masterpiece of cinema. It's basically the pinnacle of superhero movies and inspired the MCU to take a more creative approach in their storytelling. You see, this was the MCU before Megamind, and this was the MCU after Megamind. Megamind changed the game. Thanos would have been a Hulk Hogan t-shirt wearing biker guy if Megamind didn't introduce the concept of alien villains. It was their doing. They brought that concept into the world. There was never an alien villain ever. Megamind is a 2010 Newgrounds adult animation starring many talented voice actors. You got Tina Fey from SNL, David Cross from Arrested Development, Brad Pitt from My Arms, Jonah Hill from The Mountains, and Will Ferrell from The Forest. This is one of those 3D animated movies from DreamWorks that you no doubt remember as slapping. Slapping so hard like it was a Russian competition. And honestly, you'd be right. This movie is absolutely phenomenal. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's witty, it's weirdly deep. Everything about it is powerful and creative. I mean, look at his forehead. Dude, come on, oh my god. The movie is a classic story of good and evil, and it keeps it simple, while also having a really strong message about stories in general.
You are destined for...
I didn't quite hear that last part, but it sounded important.
The movie begins with a classic DreamWorks logo, but more in space and stuff because we seeing planets go dead. You meet our main guy, Mega Man, who's being sent away in an escape pod because his planet is dying. We also meet Metro Man, who's having the same thing happen to him on a nearby planet. And this is where we get a taste of the superhero rivalry that we see throughout the movie. Basically, Metro Man is a trust fund white boy granted everything in life, so he picks on the unfortunate kid in school who's had to work for everything in life. We see this man, Metro Man, who's automatically just brought into a fancy house and given everything in life. Meanwhile, Megamind ends up in prison almost instantly. At school, Metro Man picks on him, and whenever Megamind tries to defend himself, he's shunned and bullied because of it. It's honestly kind of tragic. Also, look at Megamind and his eyelashes. He grew up as a teen e-boy. Look at this man. Look at this dude. So basically, all of this forces Megamind to get the mentality that the only way he can defend himself and be happy in life is to be the villain, since literally everyone has pushed him to that and already view him as one. We then get an incredible intro title card of the movie. Oh wow, we're watching Megamind? I love that movie. Throughout the movie, Megamind always uses like a bunch of gadgets and stuff that just look really cool. They don't really go that insane with the kind of gadgets he makes, but the types that he used are used very appropriately, and they're really fun every time they come on screen. Especially the disguiser watch that he uses throughout the movie to become this guy or this guy. It's just a lot of fun to watch. We then meet Title Card Man in prison where he playfully spooks the guard. He then busts out of that cage and kidnaps Tina Fey, news reporter. And we hear a really on-the-nose song where they're like, I'm a bad guy. Not the Billie Eilish song because she wasn't born yet, but like one of those old rocker songs of, bad guys. And honestly, I would hate this kind of stuff. I hate those on-the-nose songs that just give the lyrics of what they are exactly, but this movie earns it. It earns cheesiness because it does something special with it every time. This is all going down while there's a big festival to celebrate Metro Man and his accomplishments in the world. Metro Man pulls that Jesus imagery and walks on water. You know what you DC fanboys always love to talk about? The Jesus imagery of Superman? Well, Metro Man did it first, dude. So get over yourself, dude, okay? Metro Man is the real Superman out here. So Megamind has Tina Fey captured and requests for Metro Man to come save her because Megamind loves these battles. He has an affinity for these battles because it's the only thing that gives him purpose in life. That's the only way he feels. And we basically see how this is their normal day-to-day. They've done this a lot. Like a lot. And it's basically become their 9-to-5 job.
Even the most heartfelt belief can be corroded over time.
Justice is a non-corrosive metal.
But metals can be melted by the heat of revenge.
It's revenge, and it's best served cold.
Metro Man attempts to save her, and Megamind thinks he's gonna fail, but he doesn't. And he wins, and kills Metro Man. And this literally shocks everyone because he's never succeeded. And it's honestly a really chilling moment because even Megamind is like, wait, what? Dude. So Megamind does what he's always imagined doing and takes over the city. He wreaks havoc and destroys stuff, but eventually he gets bored. He gets bored. There's no challenge or purpose to any of it now. He feels sad and he goes to the museum of Metro Man Trust Fund Boy and gets accidentally involved with Tina Fey. She inspires him to find a new hero or actually make one. So he sets out to do exactly that. And now you have Tina Fey reporter trying to figure out what Megamind is doing because she just thinks that Megamind is gonna do some evil thing and destroy the world or some stuff, and she wants to stop him because she views him as pure evil, even though that's not what he actually is, and he doesn't even know that yet. It gets deep, dude. I love it so much. Meanwhile, you also have Jonah Hill, her reporter friend that, has a crush on her. And spouts his really big r/nice guy's energy throughout the movie. He accidentally gets injected with this hero juice that Megamind is making. He got squirted with hero juice right up his nose. Megamind takes advantage of this and attempts to mold Jonah Hill into a perfect hero to fight him. But during all of this, he gets involved with Tina Fey. But this is all because she mistakes Megamind's disguise as an actual guy. So Megamind gets closer and closer to Tina Fey while he's wearing this disguise of this dude. And, he starts to realize that he'd rather be good secretly. And then on the flip side, the person that he's supposed to be molding into a good guy and making into a hero starts to get evil himself. Like, genuinely evil. This represents a good character study though, because you have Megamind who became evil because he thought it was the only way of life for him, but that just turned out not to be the case. And then you have Jonah Hill's character who becomes evil because that's genuinely just him. That's generally just what he wants to do. So Jonah Hill's character tries to impress Tina Fey, but he comes on way too strong and pulls out more of that r/nice guy energy. Meanwhile, you have Megamind and Tina Fey getting it on and kissing, but then Jonah Hill finds out and he gets all mad, but then, she also finds out that it's Megamind instead, and she freaks out. And then we get some harsh ass truths.
What about everything you just said? About judging a book by its cover?
Well, let's take a look at the contents then, shall we?
You destroyed Metro Man, you took over the city, and then you actually got me to care about you!
So Megamind, all broken and sad, attempts to fight Jonah Hill in an effort to get that good old good and bad fighting feeling like before, but it becomes way more darker and violent when he attempts to actually murder him. Tina Fey and Megamind then agree that they have to stop him, but they have no idea how. They go to Metro Man's lair to find some information about some kind of weakness of these kind of powers, but then they find out Metro Man is alive! What? Oh my god, dude, wow! This man faked his own death because he was tired of the same old routine.
Then I realized we had done this same silly charade our entire lives.
Tired of doing the same thing over and over again forever, so he literally retired secretly. This proves that Jonah Hill might not have a weakness, but Tina Fey doesn't care. She wants to fight him anyways, so she says this.
I say we go back to the evil lair, grab some ray guns, hold him sideways, and just go all gangsta on him.
Megamind sees no hope, and yet she goes in anyways and gets captured. Good job, Tina Fey. You're doing good. This makes Megamind go in to save his girl and comes in all cool and stuff, pulls out like the most awesome plan ever, and eventually sucks the juices out of him that made him powerful, and boom, The day is saved. This leads to Megamind to realize that he's better as a hero and feels better as a good guy, and huzzah, blah, that's Megamind. This movie is incredible, absolutely phenomenal. It sets up the great dynamic of good and evil and how they're all inseparable. The editing in this movie can be insanely subtle and genius as well. Like this one cut where Megamind is about to scream in pain, but it cuts to a screaming crowd.
Boyfriend in tights, shall we?
Like, I didn't even realize that the first time I watched it, but it's really phenomenal. Will Ferrell brings his dang A-game to his voice performance that makes every scene with him top notch. The only downside to this movie, though, is that it goes by a little too fast in the pacing. Like the Jonah Hill Tina Fey scenes, the entire setup for Jonah to become evil happens a little too quickly, and it's a little jarring. But besides that, everything about this movie is amazing. I love the writing, I love the animation. Oh my god, dude, the animation! They constantly are changing the environments and putting a lot of things on screen, especially when Megamind's entrances of evil and stuff. It's so gorgeous. Look at this, look at all these lights, dude. It's so pretty. It's pretty. Like, that's objectively pretty. I don't care what you say. This movie also just has a lot to say about superhero dynamics, or, you know, just dynamics in life in general. It's important to have a purpose for yourself, but you also have to make sure that you'll be satisfied afterwards if you fulfill it. This movie was one of my favorites as a kid when it first dropped when I was like 11, and it still is. It's had a really big impact on the future of blue CGI dudes, considering they're always compared to Megamind. I'm pissed at the critics for calling this movie unoriginal, because, like, dude, shut up. That's the point of the movie, to take the tropes of superhero movies and show how they're the same story 300 times and to flip that on its head. Also, this one review said, why have Megamind when there's Despicable Me? I want to see what they have to say about that now since Minions and stuff came out, because that is the worst take I've ever heard. Let me see if this person can still say that to this day. Anyways, I love Megamind. I love everything about it. I love Megamind's massively, beautifully blue head. I just wish I could rub it for good luck. Megamind just represents a good part of my adolescence, or, you know, of learning what good and evil is, but in a fun, light-hearted manner. I love you, Megamind, and all your blueness. Your skin may be blue, but baby, your heart is gold.